True Detective Season 1 is one of the greatest seasons ever as far as TV series go. It premiered in 2014, starring Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. The investigation starts in 1995, with the murder of Dory Lane staged in a ritualistic way with antlers on her head and strange symbols around her body. Detectives Russ and Marty began uncovering hints of a larger pattern. Missing women, references to something called the Yellow King, and whispers of a powerful group of people hiding in plain sight. In the present day 2012, Russ and Marty are being interviewed separately because similar murders have started happening again. This confirms Russ was right all along. The real killer was never caught. Russ has spent the last 10 years secretly investigating the case on his own. As we dive into this non-linear story, it shows us two detectives. Russ is a no-nonsense, pessimistic, introspective, and highly intelligent detective. He notices things other people miss, not just at crime scenes, but in people's behavior, speech, and motivations. He has almost a supernatural level of focus and pattern recognition, which makes him brilliant at his job, but nearly impossible to relate to on a personal level. You feel sad for Russ, because he seems to just be existing in the world and not living. Every time Russ speaks, you hang on to every word. It's almost as if he speaks in parables. Everything he says is quotable. I think human consciousness is a tragic misstep in evolution. Life's barely long enough to get good at one thing, so be careful what you get good at. There's no such thing as forgiveness. People just have short memories. Death created time to grow things that it would kill. This, in my opinion, is Matthew McConaughey's best performance in a role. Then you have Marty, the polar opposite, where Russ is philosophical, withdrawn, and brutally honest about how dark the world is. Marty is outwardly normal. He's the family man, the talkative partner, the guy who believes in routine, order, and traditional values. On the surface, he looks like the stable one, but Marty is full of contradictions. He sees himself as a good man, a good cop, and a good husband, but his actions constantly undermine that image. He cheats on his wife, loses his temper easily, and has a controlling attitude towards women, especially his daughters. Marty believes he has a moral code, but bends it whenever it suits him. That's what makes his character such a realistic person. Marty represents the kind of person who lives in denial. He doesn't want to think too deeply about life, evil, or his own flaws. He prefers simple explanation, clear roles, and a sense that he's on the right side of things. Russ forces him to confront truths he'd rather avoid. As a detective, Marty is solid but traditional. He relies on instinct, experience, and procedure. Rather than deep analysis, he's good with people, good in interviews, and understands how to navigate the social side of police work. Most crime shows focus on what happened. True Detective focuses on who those men are while it's happening. Russ and Marty just aren't detectives solving a murder. They're deeply flawed human beings whose personal lives, beliefs, and failures are woven into the investigation. The case changes them, and they change how we see the case. Russ' conversation aren't normal TV dialogue. They explore the meaning of life, human nature, time and existence, and good versus evil. You're not just watching a mystery, you're listening to a debate about existence inside of a crime story. They eventually discover the killer, Errol Childress, a groundskeeper tied to the powerful Tuttle family. This reveals the bigger horror. The murderers were never caught and were protected by influential people involved in a cult-like network. The Yellow King mythology isn't supernatural. It's a symbol used by a group of powerful, depraved men who were never fully exposed. The most powerful moment comes at the end of the show. Russ, who has spent the entire show saying life is meaningless and darkness is winning, tells Marty that when he was near death, he felt his daughter's presence and felt the light winning. For the first time, Russ admits he was wrong. There is something more. There is hope.
Should I live in history, huh? I don't want to know anything anymore. This is a world where nothing is solved. Well, someone once told me time is a flat circle. of everything we've ever done or will do, we're gonna do over and over and over again. And that little boy and that little girl, they're gonna be in that room again and again.